Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok, and I got a letter, and you know what? Sometimes I get really nice letters, and sometimes I get letters that people are completely full of shit, and then sometimes I get letters from guys who are actually pretty nice, and of course, I appreciate that. It's always nice to be appreciated, and then for somebody to take the time and write me. So I got a letter from a guy named Krister. I believe he's from Sweden. He says, "Hello, Scott. Made my first trip to Thailand in August 2015. I made a lot of research before the flight and found your bar girl videos to be very good and informative. It just took me a week to almost make a big mistake in Pattaya, but I could still hear your voice saying, 'Don't fall in love with bar girls.' So I must say a big thank you. I love your chowderhead videos, even if I believe you don't. Best regards, Krister." Now, he didn't have to write that to me. That was very nice, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Krister. Now, like I said, there's sometimes when I get messages, and the guys are complete dicks. Or I get messages from guys who, they just want to fuck with me. And the thing is my life just keeps going on. You see, I got things to do. Now, sometimes that may be sitting there talking to people on a stream. Sometimes it might be out making a video or shooting photos or doing whatever it is I do, which is my business. And, generally my life is very good. I have a good life. I can't complain at all. So let me just read what this guy wrote, and you'll see what a bit of a dickhead this guy really is. "Dear Scott, I recently finished 20 years in the U.S. Army and have now retired." Now, you see right there, I thought, oh, okay, cool, man. "I came back to West Virginia, my home, and I am in the process of cleaning up my life so I can start anew. I enlisted in the Army right after I graduated from high school. I also, unfortunately, married my girlfriend then, too. What can I say? We were young, she was beautiful, and I was dumb. He's right about that. He is dumb. I'll give him that. My wife quickly went from being a lithe, attractive girl to an obese, sloppy housewife. She lived in the AEEFS military store, Burger King, and things like that. Spent every penny I made on junk. We have loads of these German porcelain pieces on shelves and in boxes. The woman got obsessed and she spent money and ate like there was no tomorrow. We never had any children because my wife was too obese. Needless to say, my sex life was less than zero." Maybe, you are actually an idiot. I just graduated from high school and I'm going to marry my girl and, I'm not really that mature. And then I don't understand why she changes and becomes a fat pig. And you allow her to piss away all your money on junk. Sounds like you really got your shit together with women. Yeah, you know how to deal in relationships. I can tell that already. But okay, listen. You see, I didn't think that at first. I thought, hey, this shit happens. Then he writes, "About 4 years ago, I was stationed in Dhaka, Bangladesh with PACCOM, Pacific Command, at the U.S. Embassy. I went to Bangkok and Phuket with some Army buddies." Now, wait 1 second. Just 1 second. Let me see if I can find some. Now, I got to say that I almost always do some kind of due diligence background check on people. And I have not been able to, I'm not going to say this guy's name, but I have not been able to find his name anywhere, and that goes for as someone who has worked at the embassy in Bangladesh, and I haven't found anything that matches up. His email address, no Facebook accounts, no Instagram, nothing that matches what he says he is. Okay, so let me just say that right there. So, immediately after I checked this, I was like, oh, God, another guy trying to fucking write up something here, that, he's trying to get seen or whatever. I wrote this, I fooled Scott. Yeah, you really fooled me. "I went to Bangkok and Phuket with some Army buddies, and I have not been the same since. That's how I found your videos, Scott. I tried to learn as much as possible about how I could change my surroundings and get my shit together." So you need a video to teach you how to change your surroundings and get your shit together? Seriously, you see, when I thought you were a retired Army or just about retired or you just retired or whatever it is, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Shit happens. I'm willing to forgive some things. But when you start saying one thing after another, I know you're full of shit. Okay? This is the thing. You're somebody who, you say you're a ranger. Okay? Well, at least at the end of one of the messages, he says something about being a ranger. Or Rangers, whatever. Rangers forever, or some shit like that. You know. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words, okay? But I don't think I am. I think this guy is completely full of shit. Why would a ranger need to talk to somebody like me to help him to change his surroundings and get his shit together? Fucking horse shit, okay? This is the plan and then the question. I am leaving my wife. She can have everything. Well, wow, what a nice guy you are. She got fat, and, you know, maybe you'll get fat one day, but of course, you won't because you're special. And so you're going to leave her. You know what? To each his own. If you want to leave her, that's your business. So, okay, no problem. She can have everything. Maybe because you don't have shit that you want. Don't make it sound like you're such a nice guy or you just want to get away with nothing. I am taking nothing but a backpack with some clothes and my laptop. I get $2,200 per month in retirement pay, and that's mine. I am flying to Bangkok in late May 2018. I am not sure what I am going to do, except I want to make a new start. Okay, well, gosh, you know, Ranger, maybe you should do some planning, like actually some real planning. And, you know, I understand you contact me, but I'll get into it a little bit more about why I don't like this fucking cunt. Oh, excuse my language. No, he's a cunt. From your videos and other research I've done, I know some of the pitfalls, e.g. visa runs, prohibited jobs for foreigners, etc. I am willing to be frugal with my money and stretch it out. Okay, you know, $2,200 a month is enough to live very comfortably if you're not an idiot. Now, this guy's an idiot, though. So, you know, remember that. I want to first taste the fruits of Thailand. When I was there, I fucked more than I have since I was 18 years old. In 5 days, I fucked about 20 women. My buddies were happy with 1 or 2 a day, but I would leave them drinking in the bar and go out and fuck between fucks. Okay, good for you. I figure I will first get the lay of the land, but I figure it will be best to move to a place that is less touristy and less expensive. I see there are apartments for $400 to $500 a month, or less. That's me speaking. That should leave me enough to live on and enjoy myself. Well, yes, it should. I realize that going from girl to girl can get expensive when I am paying for each lay. Wow, that's pretty intelligent of you that you figure that out, okay? Because yes, if you're out banging all kinds of chicks, $2,200 a month is dog shit, okay? It's limited. I have to figure something out because I cannot afford to pay for 3 or 4 girls per day, excuse me, on a $2,200 a month budget. Given the above, what are your thoughts? My thoughts are right now, my thoughts after reading everything that you've sent me is that you're a dumb fuck and a troll. Now, I know a guy who he makes $140,000, $145,000 a month. He's got an apartment that's about $40,000 a month. He's got a girlfriend, and he does go out once in a while and taste some of the other fruits that Thailand has to offer. And he has a car, insurance. He's got the whole works. He lives here. He's lived here for as long as I've lived here. And yet, he doesn't scrimp and save and only eat, street food and shit like that. The guy's got a nice apartment. He's got a nice girl. They go places. They do things. They spend their money. Okay? And I can tell you that he goes out and he goes, I have to watch how much I spend because I go out. And if I go out 2-3 times a week, I'm pissing away all my extra money. By the time he's done drinking, bar fines, all that kind of stuff. So, I wrote back to the guy. And, actually, I didn't write back to the guy. He got my auto response, which he didn't seem to like very much. And quite frankly, I don't give a shit if he likes it or not. Let me see here where it is. I've got to find this again. My auto response says this: "Hello and thank you for emailing. I welcome your correspondence and I am keen to hear what you have to say. However, please understand I am often on the road or busy with various projects. Or I'm doing nothing because I want to, or I'm spending time with my family, or whatever the fuck it is I'm doing. It's my right to do what I want to do, right? I mean, it's my life. For this reason, please refrain from writing long essays. I definitely will not read them, and they'll go straight into the trash." Now, his was like a page long, so I read it. And I figure once I saw the military, I always try to back the military guys up or whatever. I try to help them out. As long as they're not like a fake Navy SEAL or something like that. If you want or need a response, please visit one of my Patreon sites below or the VIP members section of AnAmericanInBangkok.com. If you are already a VIP member of my website or a Patreon, please let me know and I will respond within 48 hours. All the best. Now, generally, I always respond to people that I know within a day or two. Sometimes it's 3 days. Depends on where I am, what I'm doing. Now, I haven't been doing much, but usually when I'm not doing much, like as far as going out, I'm usually planning something. I'm thinking of where's the next place I'm going. What am I going to do? And I'm trying to set things up so that everything goes smoothly. So, he writes me back. Of course he writes me back. Of course. And he writes, "Dear Scott, damn, man, I did not know you were so mercenary. I am a guy who is looking for advice, and you put yourself out as the man with the knowledge of Thailand. Well, I knock and you slam the door on my face. Thank you for nothing." Now, let me just tell you something. To me, a guy who is a ranger, a guy who is a SEAL, first of all, they don't even need me. Because they're usually smart enough, most of them, maybe not all of them, but I always give them the benefit of the doubt that they should be smart enough and go-getters so that they don't need a guy like me to hold their little hand like a little baby and walk them through everything, okay? So I wrote him back, of course. I said, "First, let's get something straight. I owe you absolutely nothing." And I like people to know that. Just because I'm doing YouTube videos, just because I'm giving information or doing streams, it doesn't mean that I owe anybody anything. The only people that I feel I owe anything are the people who are my longtime subscribers and people who they help contribute to the success of my channel, whether financially, whether any other way. It's not only about the finances. But you know what? The finances help, especially when I'm going out spending $5,000 or $3,000 on a trip. It's like, that's the way of the world. My time is worth something. And, if you don't like it, tough shit. So I write to him, "Hey, I owe you absolutely nothing. I'm not UNICEF, and if I wish to give a response, I'll give one. Perhaps if you had given me a bit..." The guy fucking writes me on, I think it was the 5th here, or the 6th here, and then the next day, maybe it was the morning of the 6th, and then, what's today? Yeah, no. Maybe it was the morning of the 7th, and then on the evening of the 8th, he wrote me back and was like, when he got the auto response and said, "Damn, I did not know you were so mercenary." So I said, "Perhaps if you had given me a bit of time to respond, I might have replied or made a video." Well, now I'm making a video, and I'm making a video just because it shows what kind of dickheads there are out there, okay? "Perhaps if you had given me a bit of time to respond, I might have replied or made a video, especially knowing that I'm generally very helpful to military and ex-military. Perhaps you could tell me your Facebook or YouTube account, or is that too much to ask?" Now, that way I could go back and I could verify him, because I looked up his email address, looked his name up, looked his address up, looked up everything. Nothing. I found a bunch of people that lived nowhere near him and were nowhere in his age group, so he's full of shit, okay? Or he's completely, he's top secret. And usually when there's top secret, that's bullshit. So he writes me back, "No, Scott, you are not UNICEF. UNICEF is kind to children." Yeah, well, so am I. "It seems to me that you've wasted away in Thailand. What does that have to do with anything? What I've done with myself in Thailand, you're asking me for information. We weren't talking about how I've wasted away. You're round bald and now you're an angry money slut. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. You know, you got to be some millennial. And you got to be one of these dickheads. You see, there's this, what was that guy's name? Elmer? The guy, oh, yeah, dude, I've got a drone for you. I never asked for anybody to give me a drone. I don't ask for anything. I didn't give a shit. I was like, oh, well, that's nice, but thanks a lot, man. You know, how do you manage that? That thing's expensive. Oh, people give me gifts. He sent me on a fucking wild goose chase. I go over to go pick the fucking thing up, and they don't know anything about it, right? The other day, I get a message in my stream. Hey, Scott, I want to go to Myanmar. I'm dying to go. It's been my dream to go to Asia, and my wife is finally allowing me to have a year where instead of going on a vacation, I'll go on a vacation, and I really would like to go with you, and, you know, because I know it'll help you, and I get to go with somebody who knows the lay of the land, and blah, blah, blah. I said, wow, thanks a lot, man. You know, let me know what's up. And he even wrote me back and said, hey, I'll send you some money so that you know I'm not full of shit. I said, oh, well, that's always nice, but, you know, all it is it's like when somebody says they're going to do something, if you can't do it, it's not a problem. It's just like, you know, maybe give me the courtesy of an email and saying, hey, Scott, you know I told you this, but I'm sorry, my wife changed her mind or something. You know, I mean, don't be a pussy, because that's what I think you are, right? So keep your advice. I'm better off on my own. I would hate to end up as a loser like you, whoring yourself on YouTube just to keep your rice bowl full. Rangers lead the way. Now, I got to say something. I've already said this many, many times. I'm not going to apologize for any money I make. If I got rich and I didn't feel like giving all my money to UNICEF or to United Way or something like that, I'm not going to feel guilty. You know that? Because I am generally a generous person. And I think that over the years, I have helped numerous people for nothing. I've given my time, I've given my energy, I've given my knowledge, I've given all these things. So, you know, like, if you think I'm whoring myself on YouTube, you're entitled to your opinion. So then, you know, but basically what this guy is saying is, you know, what's the best way for me to budget my money and bang as many chicks as I can? So I wrote him back, and I said, let me see if I understand your rather skewed logic. You want to know how you can bang as many whores as possible off your somewhat limited budget. And, you know, 66,000 baht a month when you're paying 15 or let's say 16,000 just for your rent. That leaves you 50,000 to pay all your utilities, your phone, food, and to go out. It doesn't, you know, maybe you got 25, 30 grand left to go bang whores. If you're banging 3 a day, it ain't going to last very long. Okay? So it's a very limited budget. If you're smart, you can live very, very comfortably. Okay? You want to know how you can bang as many whores as possible off your somewhat limited budget, yet someone who has proven his value to countless men visiting and living in Thailand, that's me, and I don't usually say things like this, but isn't worth a few bucks a month. With friends like you, who needs enemies? Oops, trolls like you. Make sure not to let the door hit your twat on the way out, and have a wonderful day. Now, you know, the thing is I'm not angry. This doesn't really bother me because, you know, what effect does it have on my life? I don't really get angry very often. And if I do vent, that's all I'm doing. I'm venting. I vent for a couple of minutes. It's over. That's the end of it. It's not a big deal. If I was truly angry, you know, people would know it. Why am I going to get angry about what some dumb fuck writes to me online? You know, be polite, be decent. If you had written me back and said, hey, Scott, you know, listen, you know, I don't really have much money, but, you know, I am with the military, you know, I'm not some troll, I really could appreciate your help. I would have been like, yeah, okay, man, cool, no problem. It's not a problem. But, you know, the reason that I have this auto response, and I'm going to make it even worse now. I'm going to make it even more hardcore. Hey, listen, you stupid cunts. Maybe I'll write something like that. If you think I'm going to answer all your fucking questions because you're too fucking lazy, you know, first thing, just go to Patreon. Go to Patreon, go to, you know, PayPal, go to my VIP section of my website. Ask me a couple of questions, no problem. But like, ask question after question. Give me 6 questions and tell me all about your plans and this and that. Listen, buddy, I don't know, you know, like this dude in particular, it's kind of like, hey, listen, you know, Longhorns has become a very good friend. I don't give a shit if he gives me money or not. To be completely honest, he's a nice fucking guy. He's the kind of guy that I like to hang out with. Guys who, they don't dick you around. You know, they tend to be men of their word. They try as hard as possible to be decent to other people. Not some cunt who I don't email him back and he gets a fucking message going, hey, you know, listen, please understand, you know, but sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I get a shitload of emails, and I just don't feel like answering them all, because it's going to take my time up. It might take me an hour or two to answer some of the emails. Sometimes I only get a couple. It really depends. But you know what? That's none of anybody's business. Quite frankly, it's my time. And my time is valuable. It may not be valuable to you, and that's okay, but it's valuable to me. So like I said to this guy, make sure not to let the door hit your twat on the way out, and have a wonderful day. Because I would have been more than willing to help him if he had just spoken nicely to me in his second message. I probably would have helped the guy. But now, after checking on him, I don't believe he was in the military. I don't believe a fucking word he's saying. I think he just made it all up. He just wanted to get on YouTube with his letter. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to apologize to him. But, you know, in order to do that, I need some proof. And I'm not talking about a photo that shows him in the service. I'm talking about something like a Facebook account, an Instagram account, somewhere where his name and email are shown in a forum or something like that. Because usually when you look up somebody's name, you find something. And then, you know, it's like, wait a minute. I mean, you know, he gives me his zip code and his city and state where he lives, and then I look it up and there's not one person by his name living there, not one person that fits his description in all the United States or anywhere else. Now, there is a slim chance that maybe he is who he says he is. But you know what? He's still a dick. Just for the way that he responded to me. If he can't understand, oh well, I don't care. I'm not here to fucking make everybody love me. Okay? So let's just get that straight too. You love me, you hate me, it's up to you. Okay? So, have a great day. I really appreciate all your views and everybody who follows me on my streams and everywhere else, which, by the way, I will have a stream on Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, tomorrow. And 9 a.m. Bangkok time, and then also on Thursday, and I'm trying to go to down to Chao Phraya River. I'm not sure which day I'll do that. It may be Sunday. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I will do it. I will do what I say, and I will do that. There's a few other things that I'm working on right now, and I will talk about those later with the people in the stream. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D. Leo Jerkin Mai.